Hello, welcome to the Monday Morning Pastor, where we share a point or two from our Sunday morning message to help us get through our week. The other night, oddly, it was Friday night, I was watching one of my favorite TV series called Friday Night Lights. It's about a Texas high school football team, and one of the protagonists of the show, his name is Jason Street. He was the starting quarterback in the first episode, but he's in an accident, a football accident. He is paralyzed from the waist down, and much of this series is centered around his trying to recover his life and trying to find his way. And in one episode, I believe it's season 2, episode 13, he is trying his hand at being a car salesman. And he's failing miserably. He's not getting any help. He doesn't know how to do it. And there's this one customer that keeps coming in, keeps looking at a car. Nobody believes he's ever going to buy any car from this dealer. And finally, Jason decides he's going to try a different tack. So he goes up to this guy and he basically says to him, it's time to stop thinking. It's time to pull the trigger. It's time to buy this dang car. And he does. It's a pretty cool moment in the series. And it reminded me that many of us just need to get off of our rear ends and pull the trigger when it comes to significant spiritual decisions. It might be the first serious spiritual decision we might make to follow Jesus Christ, to finally say, I'm done thinking about this. I've got questions asked, and I've got some that are answered. I've got concerns, but you've looked at Jesus for a long time, and it's just time to pull the trigger and to give your life to him and follow him. For others, it may be time to pull the trigger to really get serious about your marriage or your relationships, or about your integrity, about your lifestyle. Sometimes you just need to do it. You've examined it, you've thought about it, you've touched the car a few times, and doggone it, you just need to buy it. Well, all that came to my mind as I was preparing our message for yesterday. We've been studying the book of Acts and mostly looking at this guy named Paul, who was an amazing missionary and great church planter. We read this about him in Acts chapter 17, where he begins his work in a city named Thessalonica. It says this in chapter 17, beginning at verse 2. It says, as it was Paul's custom, he went to the synagogue, that was the place of Jewish worship, and over 3 Sabbath days he reasoned with them. He reasoned, dialogue with the religious people from the scriptures, explaining and proving that the Messiah had to suffer and rise from the dead. And he says this Jesus I am proclaiming to you is the Messiah, he said. And it says this about these people that were listening to him. It says they were persuaded and they joined Paul. They were persuaded, and so they joined. They looked at it long enough, and they said it's finally time to join this thing called Christianity. I want to encourage you, if you've been on the fence, if you've been looking and seeking and thinking, you might not have all your questions answered, but it might be time to pull the trigger and to follow Jesus. Thank you for watching and listening, and have a great week.